Right, guys. So recently, the place where I work has issued out. They've basically given out bonuses because originally we were projected to have like a net deficit this year, but because of the financial climate at the moment, bank interest rates going up and everything like that. Because where I worked had such a strong savings, they've actually managed the actual savings account they've got has prompted them to sort of gain revenue. So that's basically put the company in a financial like strong point. So they gave out like a cash incentive to everyone saying like, "Well done, we've managed to overcome this. So here's some monies." So I'm going to pose a really like interesting question to you. What's some of your absolute favorite moments from work or really nice things that businesses have done for you where you've worked?
I'm not going to talk about my current work just because it's my current work and I don't want to talk about a place where I'm currently working. Um,
That's why I said, well, I've
but
already said where I work and I've done it anyway.
um, but while I was the job before where I was where I'm now, I was at Amazon, and where I worked at Amazon was I was a picker, so I had to pick all the items from their stock that would then go down towards people who would pack it. And well, it's a lot across the board in Amazon. They have kind of like competitions, and if you win, you get like vouchers and stuff like that. I think it was at yeah, it was one of the Christmas ones. You won something. I can't remember how many. I think it was how many. If you got the most items in a box or something like that, and I won it, and I got a massive Christmas hamper with loads of chocolate and sweets and stuff like that. It was really really cool. To be fair,
Nice one. What are you, Chris?
I'm just trying to think of anything that's ever been nice that's happened to me at
Well, I
work.
can name a few other nice things that my workplace has offered me. So obviously, I've had, basically a bonus come through. Um, they offer me free education, so doing my PhD. The fact that they gave me a job so soon after graduating is also a bonus because usually for a job like this, you need at least some experience. But because I came at the right time and I had just enough experience, I was able to get it, and they've given me like it's been so nice working there. But yeah, generous leaves. If you've got shitty situations, they're like, yeah, fine, like take it. Whereas I know like in heavy industry, they're just like, no, you're only allowed half an hour break once a day, or if you need to shit, you shit here. You don't go to a toilet. So I'm thankful for my current workplace. I mean, yeah, there's like changes to management going on and people taking on more responsibilities without like any pay incentive. But overall, the place where I work has looked after me. Whereas, I know a lot of other places not so as appreciative. I mean, I've only ever had like three or four jobs. Like my first job, I worked at a secondary school as a technician, like a science technician there, doing tutoring as well. I mean, nothing really happened there. Then I had placements during my university days. Again, nothing happened there. Yeah, I mean, I've not really had that many jobs really. Just permanent life as a technician.
I know one of my previous jobs. Whenever we'd have like a good month, we would get like a sausage, or you get like a roll with like sausage, bacon, egg, or whatever you wanted. Get that for free every now and then. No, it's not really that exciting, but it was quite a nice little treat when you didn't expect it. I think they
Oh,
did
that's just reminded me. Going where I work, they because of the cost of living crisis going on, what they were doing, they were literally giving away free breakfasts for about 4 or 5 months.
Mm.
So you could either get like free cereal, free toast, free porridge and toppings with a drink, tea, coffee. That was really really nice. That was so so kind.
Mm.
I'm guessing Chris has had nothing good happen at work.
He pro-
Uh,
I think he's probably had
uh,
he's had good things happen at work, but probably not on the level you're expecting. Well, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know.
Well, either way, it could be just what's the nicest things that's happened to you at work that the business has given to you.
the business is giving me.
A holiday? No, I don't
I
know.
ain't had a holiday. I have not had a holiday since 2010. I think the nicest thing I've done for one of the old companies is quit without a backup plan just to fuck them over. Just fuck them.
So that's the nicest thing you've done. But what have they done for you?
They didn't do anything for me. That's why I quit. Fuck 'em.
Oh,
Yeah.
But my life is a lot better now. So, yay.
I suppose that's a start.
There you go.
Yeah.
Are you recording?
I am.
Microphone guy, check 1 2 1 2. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Victory Achieve Podcast. I am Brandon, and I'm with my two favourite boys on the podcast, Dan and Chris. How are you both doing today, lads?
I'm good.
Yeah, I'm alright. Yeah, fine.
That was a bit of a dramatic pause.
Oh,
I made me feel
think-
very
I
uncomfortable
think,
there.
I think both Chris and I thought, who's going to go first? And we were like, oh, well, I think I was like, I'll let Chris go first. And then Chris was like, no, I'll let Dan go first. And then, yeah.
Yeah, we're
Well,
trying
shit,
to
I
use
went
our,
first.
we're trying to use our like psychic powers to guess who's going first
Yeah, yeah.
in separate rooms.
Oh, we still. Oh, that's reminded me. We still yet to do like in like face-to-face recording, aren't we?
Mm.
I think that was a thing we were planning on doing one day, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think if we ever did it, it would probably have to be at Chris's, or probably, I don't know.
The quiet place.
I don't know if it is quiet. I don't know.
Well, I've got a dog to harass everyone, got a puppy, and she won't shut the fuck up, and she's obsessed with washing machines at the moment. So yeah, not quite quiet here.
Yeah, and I've got a dog that won't shut the fuck up with people.
Oh, well.
Anyway, I thought, seeing as usually, as is the case, I've been surrounded by the life of work, PhD, and life stuff. I haven't really done anything in the past 2 weeks, but I have done one thing, so I'm just going to kick this off right from the beginning, if you guys don't mind me.
Go on.
So I've got a manga app called Manga Plus, which it's just basically a free manga app, and it's linked to Shonen Jump and other like Viz Media and stuff like that. And there was a new manga that came out with the first chapter released on the 30th of July. And it is a new manga series called Wild Strawberry. And if anyone here is to basically look at the screenshot of Wild Strawberry, probably one striking thing you'll notice about this is that also recently we've just had the ending of season 1 of Hell's Paradise, which... Did we review it yet, Dan?
Yeah, we spoke about it on the podcast.
Oh god, yeah, I've slept since then, and dog's been waking me up at 2:30. But yeah, so the whole... Likewise with Hell's Paradise, how you've got this like parasitic plant world, or plant island... Wild Strawberry is also a dystopian style world where parasitic plants have basically taken over the world. And, likewise to... I'm trying to think of the series. I think like Kagista of an insect, like the insect one, where you can get infected by insects and you can basically turn into an insect. Wild Strawberry is also the same thing, where you can basically get infected by plants. And once you're infected, probably similar to Fire Force as well, where you can basically become like a fire demon or whatever. If you become infected by the plant, you basically have to get taken out by like the government protection, whatever, and basically taken out on site. Whereas, based on the first chapter, it's not really spoilers, it's only the first chapter, you can just read it, there's obviously the main character trying to look after sister who is infected and trying to keep a hush-hush. And then one thing leads to another, and basically they get exposed, and his sister's then basically lined up to be not assassinated, but killed for harboring the plant infection. But it later sort of ensues that she's actually able to control this plant power and show signs of restraint, so she doesn't use this plant power to kill people. She'll wound, but not kill, so she has that restraint. And because her brother was trying to defend her, he was actually shot by the police and killed. So she goes on a rampage and, basically like not kills, but goes on like an attack fest. And in like a desperation to save her brother's life, she basically fuses with her brother. So now her brother's now harboring this girl infected with the plant, and that's basically where it ends up after the first chapter. As a recording, on the 20th of July, the second chapter was released, so I'm yet to read that. For a first chapter, the art style was incredible. I'm liking how it's set in a plant dystopian. I've not really seen anything like that before in manga. Usually it's, cult-related, alien-related, horror-related, like gore, or something. I've never seen anything plant-related. Have you, Dan? Or even like in terms of like films, like TV.
I've seen
haven't really
stuff,
seen
but it's
anything.
probably not been that great.
Mm.
You know what's bad? One I can think, the only one I can think of is this terrible film. It's is it Batman Forever or is it Batman and Robin?
Batman and Robin with Poison Ivy.
Yeah, I'm just thinking of that.
But I'm having to Google this. No, I'm googling this. Batman and Robin Poison Ivy. What's she got to do with it?
I don't know. Just plants. I'm just thinking of
Wow,
plants.
3.8 IMDb rating. Holy shit!
Yeah, it's a shit film. And sadly, I've got it on DVD.
My condolences, mate.
Well, I bought the original collection with the 4 of them, so sadly, it's tagged along.
I think for me, the closest thing that comes to like a plant apocalypse is the plant in Jumanji. You know, the one that comes out the chimney. I think that's literally the worst thing I've ever seen with plants.
You say plant apocalypse, Last of Us, kind of.
Have you guys never heard of Little Shop of Horrors?
Little
No,
Shop of Horrors?
no.
No, I haven't.
Well, I know of
have
it.
it.
I've never watched it or
Little Shop
consumed
of
it,
Horrors.
whatever
Let's have a
it
look.
is.
1986 film.
Yeah. Essentially,
Oh, hello. But is the whole world revolving around basically the plants taking over? Like, well,
Oh, in one ending, yeah.
oh, it's got multiple endings.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Depends what version you see. But one of them, yeah, it's like a planked apocalypse.
Fair enough. Yeah, but
and you've got Day of the Triffids, which is an apocalypse brought on by plants.
Day of the Triffids.
Yeah. There's been loads of iterations of it. One of the better ones actually stars Eddie Izzard.
I'm literally like googling this now.
Brandon's so excited.
Wow. That's
Literally, this is how sheltered
the
I am.
50s.
Okay, fair enough. There's actually other stuff involving plants, so it's. But again, it seems like a very rare thing to see. Is something to do with plants taking over? I don't know. It's just something different, and I'm one chapter in. I'm enjoying it so far. I'm looking forward to see where it ends up. So yeah, highly recommend if you're into if you want to pick up a new manga from the very beginning. So far I recommend Wild Strawberry. It's actually been quite entertaining.
Well, chapter 3 comes out on the 27th.
Yes.
So that's, at the time of recording, it's a couple of days. Probably by the time this is out, probably like 6 chapters out at least.
I think they're doing a one per week.
Yeah, 5-6 chapters by the time this episode's out. So
Yeah, check it out. So, what have you guys been up to?
Well, I had a nice lead in there.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, well, you're on about plants, and normally that requires a green thumb. But I went one better and bought a green outfit. I bought a Luigi outfit.
Yes, I saw this.
Yeah.
I feel like, did you buy this before Adriana's Revenge's birthday stream? While she was Mario, or was this after?
Literally at the same time.
Yeah,
I seen her. I thought that's a good idea.
I was like, I bet you saw her in the Mario, and you're like, I need to put a Luigi so I can we can match with your co-streamer.
Yes, if you're unaware, Adrian Revenge is someone I co-stream with, so do a co-op stuff. And I seen her dressed as Mario, and I thought, hang on, I'm also doing a charity stream in a couple of weeks for the NSPCC, and their logo is all green and stuff. So Luigi's green. It just seemed to make sense.
Wait, Luigi's green? No, I'm kidding.
Yeah. Yes, he is. He's been very ill recently.
Oh no!
Too many mushrooms, mate. Too many mushrooms.
Oh.
It's the old mushroom apocalypse. So there
we go.
There you go. There's another one. Flower. You got the bloody mushroom kingdom. There you go.
That's not really a
Look,
that's not really an apocalypse.
You've seen the piranha plants everywhere, right? How is that not an apocalypse?
Fair enough.
Yeah. But yeah, talking about Mario, I've also been streaming a couple of games. One of which is like a year old, so it's not like super new, but it's actually a couple of games, which oddly enough are the Mario and Rabbids games. Which, imagine Mario, but XCOM, like turn-based strategy tactical shooter.
Yeah.
Yeah, really. I know everyone's seen like Mario and Rabbids. I thought, nope, no, don't want that. Until you play it, and then it's like, oh, this is actually good. What happened? Why is this awful concept good?
Because the second one, on the cover, you've got Mario with like pistols, with like sci-fi pistols, and the meme with as Chris Pratt as Mario got even more complex because it looked like he was Mario was Star-Lord with the
yeah,
pistols.
it really does. The box art, yeah, it really does. Like he's got the element guns, and you got the other characters plastered on there, almost like it really is like almost like the first Guardians of the Galaxy box art. Like all the other characters are kind of positioned in the same way as well. Like Bowser is Drax.
Or then the edgy rabbit is Nebula then, or is she Gamora, or he? I don't know.
suppose. Oh no, edgy. There's probably more Rocket.
I meant
Yeah.
the goth one in the second game.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know which one. Anyway.
Yeah. So if you're unfamiliar, so there's some techno babble stuff which is never really fully explained. Like the Rabbids from Rayman's universe, like come in and get cross with Mario. The only explanation is it's like some researcher doing something on a computer.
Money.
It just happens to. Yeah, money. Yeah. She's basically got like a Mario poster and then like a fucking Rayman poster. It's like, oh, the two get combined, and yeah, there you go. That's enough. So you run around the Mushroom Kingdom and other areas as like the two universes are sort of melded together, and you just try and stop Rabbids from going everywhere. But they get fused with like Bowser and like Donkey Kong, so you have like Rabbid Kong. It's very weird, but it's all in the gameplay, and they do play quite different to one another to an extent. So the first game is kind of linear, like you walk around a sort of not quite open world because it is like linear. You get to like A to B, but there's like there are like nooks and crannies for you to find chests and hidden goodies in, like skill points, because there's a whole sort of skill tree system. Every character like plays differently. So no, like Luigi's Knight, for example, is because he's like cowardly. He's essentially a sniper class. So he can like cover large distances, but you want to keep him undercover so he can attack from very far away because you don't want to get involved. Mario's like sort of everyman kind of thing. Peach is like a healer, but she's not in both games. She's got a shotgun. She means business. She ain't fucking around. Yeah, it's great. Even better in the second game. But yeah, the level structure is like, oh, you go from A to B, like having a look around, solving some puzzles, which are normally like block puzzles or kind of like the red coin. There's also like red coin challenges from like the other like 3D Mario games. You got to find when they are within a strict time limit, and a few other bits and bobs. And then you got your combat. So combat works in the first one at least, just like XCOM or XCOM 2. Like everyone has like a couple of actions per turn. You move on a grid, but depending on who you're playing as, you can jump on certain enemies' heads as well, so you can like glide above, like, and jump a bit further, just for like more movement. But one mechanic I really like, unique to this series, is you can dash or like slide into enemies. So like normally like you walk up to an enemy, you can't do anything, like you just sort of have to move around them. This one you can like go through them and do extra damage, and it's just like a really nice mechanic, especially with some other abilities that work really well. So Mario, for example, he's got a skill in both games, which is essentially works like Overwatch from like the XCOM games, where if any enemy makes a move, he'll take a shot at it. But if you do like the dash mechanics, which like flips an enemy into the air, you do damage by doing that, and that triggers Mario's Overwatch, because technically the enemy's moved, so you can really fuck them up that way. It's really satisfying to pull off every single time, even doing it in the second game. But yeah, the first one's pretty linear. The second one, premise is still like the same, but the world structure's different. This one you have like 5 worlds, and they play more like the 3D Mario games, where you basically have like the equivalent to like star missions or moon missions. Like there's just stuff on the overworld to do, whether that be solve a puzzle, open the treasure chest, fight so many things. Once you've got enough coins, you can turn them in for like more upgrades. Yeah, and you also have sparks in it, which essentially acts as power-ups or debuffs for your enemies, and you can swap them around between characters as well, so you can make them do whatever the hell you want, really. So you find a move that you really like there's one called like Pyrogeddon, which essentially summons down flaming meteors. That's really nice. Put it on the melee characters. When they get up close and personal, you can do insane damage. But also all the characters in the second one play differently. Like every character is not the same playstyle as the first one, and I'll be here all day explaining all of them. But the combat's slightly different. But first off, the combat scenarios tend to be shorter. Like you can get fights over within like 1 or 2 turns, because I think the game overall is bigger, so they tried to make the combat like faster. So you got that going on, and they've also got rid of the grid system, so it's more like, oh, you can like move around more freely just within a certain area. But you can actually cover quite a lot of distance, because you can also jump off your teammates, so you can sort of piggyback throughout the mission, and you can also jump on enemies' heads as well, like the first one, and cover even more ground. So yeah, there's a lot of options to play with, and they're both fun. I'd say the second one probably outstays its welcome a little bit towards the end because there's so much. And when I was streaming it, and it's the first time I played it, when I was getting near the end, I was just like, I can't be bothered with the last few side missions. I really can't be asked anymore. I just want to get this game done. And which doesn't help, and it does one of the things that is a pet peeve of mine. Level caps. It like caps out at 30, it's like, which I easily hit without grinding. So
Yeah.
it was annoying when I was getting to like the last boss and say, "Oh, you got several thousand experience." It's like, wow, that means absolutely nothing. Thanks for that. Yeah, they're both fun games though, and I do recommend them. The first one you can, because it's a fair few years old now. I want to say like 2016, maybe, give or take. It was pretty. It's near enough a launch title for the Switch when it came out. It was like out before Odyssey. In fact, I think it's like the first Mario thing that was on it. So,
you sure?
I may be wrong, but
well, one Switch came out 2017, and I'm pretty sure it's like 2019, but I don't. That Rabbids came out.
I don't bloody know. It feels like it came out relatively
I don't know.
soon after the Switch. I've got a physical copy of it, but I can't reach it from here.
More important things.
Yeah, exactly. They're both good though, so I do recommend them. If you like tactical things like, let's say, XCOM or Phoenix Point, give them a go. They are genuinely good games, despite what they look like.
Yeah. Like some of the things you've been saying, literally feel like things that are in Fire Emblem Engaged, like the sparks.
Yeah,
sound like the emblems in Engage, where you can mix them about, and they give like a massive buff or power to your said character who has them. No, I think unlike, let's say, Fire Emblem, you got like the 3D scope of Rabbids, don't you?
You do, yeah. So because like you fight on like different planes. So like Luigi, for example, sniper. So if he's higher up, he'll do more damage to people on the lower ground.
There is a bit in Fire Emblem, but because I've been watching some of your streams of Rabbids, and it definitely seems there's a lot more verticality with the combat.
Yeah, there is, yeah.
Whereas like Fire Emblem, it's just like, oh, I got a flyer, it can just go over here, and now I can attack this. Boom, there you go. There's that enemy dead. Yeah. Whereas Rabbids, it's like, like some of the way, when I was watching your stream, some of the way you just get across the map from like just using, is it like I don't know what on the second one you had like that, the little device, and you just like, what you'd make one of your characters just jump over terrain, just get a whole load of extra movement.
Yeah, so basically it's like a thing like your characters like hold on to as a sort of gliding mechanic, a bit like not a glider really, but in the first game, because it was like grid based, you could just like see where your character would land. It's just like arcs and then like goes a couple of squares. But this one, because it's like it's not on the grid, you got a lot more free movement with it.
Yeah, I would like to play them at some point, but time and money and all that usual shit.
Yeah,
well, but what?
But I was going to say, but I think we should keep things a bit more up to speed, a bit more current. Dan, you've seen Oppenheimer, haven't you?
Yes. I just want to say, before Barbie Hammer, there was Animal Crossing and Doom. I just want to say that, because people forget that was a thing as well.
You know what? I'll drop this as well, because I've seen this. Did you know... like soon, Saw 10 and Paw Patrol, the new movie, comes out. So we've got like Saw Patrol.
Your favourite film, Paw Patrol.
I know, right? I can't wait to see how they get tortured.
I can just hear Weldy already singing that theme song to you.
Yeah, I've seen the poster. Went, oh no, there's going to be another fucking game, isn't there? There's going to be another movie. It doesn't end.
Oh, yeah. And hell.
But yes, Oppenheimer.
And hell welcomes you back in. Oppenheimer. This film is fantastic. I don't think it's still not my favourite Christopher Nolan film, but that's when he's got a fantastic roster of films that he's directed. Well, there you go. Yeah, I really liked Oppenheimer. It's very heavy. It's a long film, and yeah, it's pretty much probably what you expect. It obviously talks about he's the father of the atomic bomb. So it goes into the making of the first atomic bomb and a lot of that during the war, and has some other bits before the war and after the war. And I don't know, it's you can't, if you've watched any Christopher Nolan films, you kind of know vaguely what you're going to get into. Like, the cast is just absolutely stacked with so many actors and actresses that even towards the end I was like, oh, it's that actor, oh, it's that actress, oh, like, music is fantastic. There's a lot of moments during the film where there's like these some of the music has like scratching and quite weirdly ambient moments, and it really sets the tone in those scenes. I don't know, I don't really know, like, it's a Christopher Nolan film. It's gonna be, you pretty much guaranteed it's gonna be at least good, I guess. But yeah, Oppenheimer is great.
So what you're saying is the film is the bomb.
Yeah. I think what I didn't expect was the dual narrative throughout the film. There's like, it quite from literally the get-go, it introduces this dual narrative where you have like the backstory or the story of Oppenheimer making the atomic bomb, and then there's in the I say the future, but there's like a timeline in the film which is set, I think, either in the 50s or late 40s. I think it's in the 50s. No, it's in the 50s. Sorry, it is in the 50s. I'm not sure when, but it's set in the 50s. It's all in black and white, and it's centered all around Robert Downey Jr.'s character, and he is just as important of a character as the film goes on as Oppenheimer. I can't remember who plays. I know he's the man's surname because it's Strauss, but I can't remember his first name. I say character; they're all real people. It is based off a film is based off a book. I think it's called American Prometheus, I believe.
Yeah, it sounds like it would be right.
Yeah, I think that's what it's called. I think it's American Prometheus. I know Prometheus is in the title. Yeah, it's realistically, it's about the actual narrative in the 50s, and everything. The whole film basically justifies what's going on in the 50s with Robert Downey Jr.'s character. But it's fascinating, and it's like all about the morality of making the bomb and the actions of that. And although I did kind of know that before going in, because I came out of the film and my dad was like talking about that, and I was like, yeah, I already expected that. Like, of course, but yeah, it's very good. I think it's 3 hours and 20 minutes. I think it's a long film.
That is a contender to the Lord of the Rings.
It's a big boy. It's heavy. It's a good film. But as I said, it's not my favourite Christopher Nolan film, but it's still a very good film. But my favourite's probably The Dark Knight, which says a lot about me, I guess.
So how much detail did they actually go through in the film Oppenheimer? Because
what do you mean, in which aspect?
As in terms of the time period, Oppenheimer's infamous quote saying, "I am the destroyer, the bringer of death," or something.
He says that a few times. The first time he says it in the film is I don't know if he says it like behind closed doors. So, and that's like the first time he properly says it. But there's no like public moment that he says it. But it's a thing. It is said a couple of times throughout the film, and it is something that clearly does stick with him throughout his life, even if it's not said. Like, there's a moment after, like, there's a scene after the bombs have been dropped, which is quite, I don't want to say much more, but that's very much, I would say that quote would very much have been in his mind in the way it's in the film, like that where how Oppenheimer feels in that point in the film. I would assume that quote would have been firmly in his mind at that moment. But like the first time,
his mind is what you say.
Yeah, like the first time he says it is quite a interesting scene, I'll say that.
Have you seen the clip of him? You've probably seen it on YouTube when he's actually on TV saying what he's done in like an interview aspect.
No, I haven't.
He literally, so if you go onto YouTube, type in Veritasium, the YouTube channel, and he released a video 6 days ago at the time of recording of why Oppenheimer deserves a movie. And it's, again, just a 30-minute video essay on the backstory of Oppenheimer. So, like, when he was at school during the 20s, how he was refused to study. He didn't enjoy physics.
Yeah.
He didn't enjoy chemistry. And then went on and so I honestly I highly recommend you check out the video. It's enlightening. And I've also seen there's a series I've been watching on YouTube. I can't remember if I talked about this before. If you because I've been recently, I say recently, I've been highly interested in like the Cold War era and what actually happened from basically the mid 30s all the way to 1992, I believe. It's a YouTube channel called Vasil Luga, and it's a BBC. Well, basically, it just brought over the BBC 24-part documentary on the Cold War. And there was a part where they were talking about obviously the nuclear arms race that was going on, and also including Oppenheimer and everything that was happening. It was fucking it's very interesting. Honestly, if you want to know that that sort of moment of like tension between the 40s to the 90s. Check out that documentary series. It's fucking incredible. Yeah, I really, really want to see Oppenheimer.
It's very good. I think there's about 4 or 5 Christopher Nolan films I've not seen. I think, except for Tenet, pretty much everything since The Dark Knight. Everything since Batman Begins I've seen. I've not seen anything before Batman Begins, but then everything except Tenet I've seen after. But I hear mixed things. I hear Tenet's is all right. I know that's not one of his.
On that too, but I've not seen it.
I know that's not one of his best films. But yeah, you know.
Well, I wanted to see Oppenheimer, but I've not had a chance to go to the cinema. So instead, I decided to make some substitutes while I was at home. I thought, you know, I'm going to watch some films I ain't seen. I want to see Mission Impossible. I want to see Barbie. And fun fact, guys, fun fact, people at home, I wanted to try and get the lads together to all go and see Barbie together, do a photo shoot.
I'll be honest,
great.
I would have done that.
I would have done that. Sadly, I'm busy the night you suggested. Unless we would go tomorrow night. Do
you want to go? Oh no,
I've started something now.
I'll need to have a check at what time I'm finishing work.
Yeah, I'd say. Yeah. So where was I? Yes. Oh, I was here. Yes, I haven't moved. Yes. So I wanted to see Oppenheimer, but I ain't got time to go cinema. So I thought, you know what? I've not watched the 1984 nuclear holocaust movie Threads, which apparently they made children watch when they were in school. I wasn't one of them, because otherwise I'd have seen it before, and that sounded really condescending, didn't it? Anyway, so if you're unfamiliar with Threads, it is a BBC made-for-TV film, kind of done a bit like a documentary, but not really, because it follows several groups of people, but it's like they're not acting to the camera. It's a little bit odd how it's done, but essentially, cut a long story short, due to political aggravation, nuclear bombs go off in Sheffield, of all places.
Of all places.
Of all places, yes. Which is hard to tell with Sheffield, because it looks like a nuclear bomb's hit it anyway at the best of times.
I mean, have you been
which is probably why they filmed there, because it would just look the part before they've even started. He's like, yeah, we found the waste site. Yeah, that was it. Sorry to anyone from Sheffield listening. I don't mean
Preston.
Preston. Well, maybe a little. Yeah, so Threads follows like a group of people, like one politician who's trying to keep everything together, just like, you know, immunities, that kind of thing, like running water and all that kind of stuff. You just got a couple from like separate families, so to give you like a sort of point of view from like the everyday man, you got people picketing in the streets. It's like the first hour of the film is like the build up to it. It's like, because it's like slowly escalating in the background, and people were like protesting, it's like, oh, stop nuclear war. But then like the last sort of 45 minutes of the film is like after the bomb's gone off, like people like dying of radiation poisoning. It's really, really happy. It's a film I can see children being forced to watch it in primary school absolutely loving, and will absolutely not traumatize them for life. Which it must have done, because this film, it's not like graphic or anything, it's not like over the top violent, but it's shot uncomfortably. It's like you can see people like suffering. You don't hate, you just like, you know, whack a bit of dirt on people and just say, oh no, I'm dying of radiation poisoning, but, you know, a bit more dramatically. And that's enough. I would recommend it. Maybe it's interesting. it's not age great, because I say it's made for TV film from 1984, but it's one of those cult films. So, I know a lot of people have seen it like back in the day and sort of have I want to say soft spot for it, when it seems harsh for what kind of film it is. It's like, I have a soft spot for when the people died. Yeah, it is what it is, and that is a film from 1984. called Fres.
You
Yeah,
say
it's
it's
not
not classic.
quite.
I've never heard of it.
Have you not?
Did
No.
you enjoy it?
I don't really know. That's the
Well,
thing. That's why
that's
it's a
a-
little hard. It's like it unfolds. It's like I guess it's done semi-realistically. What could like potentially happen, but the whole thing's like miserable by design. So you're not really meant to have a good time while you're watching it. I think it's trying to make you think more about the actual situation being done slightly more realistically rather than Hollywood.
Well, you hear the made to TV and you're like, is this going to be good?
Yeah, because it doesn't like really star anyone famous. It's like I didn't recognize a single person in it.
It's like all those direct-to-video Disney films, sequels that came out in the late 90s, early noughties, like Lion King 2, Aladdin 2, Pocahontas 2. It's just like, okay, let's not.
Yeah, please stop.
I say that, but people still do talk about it. It still does like do the rounds every now and again.
Yeah, to be fair, my mate messaged me the other week talking about Return of Jafar. I was just like, I feel like I've seen it, and I feel like it was bad, but I can't remember. Well, I've got Disney Plus. I can easily rewatch it. So
the great thing about the title Return of Jafar, it's an excellent subtitle that's attached to it, like anything. Take any film, but Return of Jafar at the end. Terminator 2, Return of Jafar. Star Wars, The Return of Jafar. Come on.
And then you decided to put yourself through a lot of pain, and you watched the 2017 film The Mummy. Why?
Yes, I thought what would be less painful than watching people die slowly of radiation poisoning. I thought, what would be more painful than that? Watching The Mummy from 2017. Right.
You like, what's more painful? Watching myself go through pain.
So I have two things behind this, right? One is I wanted to see Mission Impossible at the time. I thought, you know what? I'll pick another film that's got Tom Cruise in it that I haven't seen. That is a film I haven't seen yet. The other one is for my charity stream, and I quickly played through it again. Sure, I spoke about this on the podcast before, but I'm going to play The Mummy Demastered, which I will go on record for saying is genuinely possibly one of the best movie license games ever made, period.
Ooh.
And I really, 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 really highly recommend it. Just very briefly, it's a Metroidvania with like emphasis on the Metroid. It's based on the 2017 film, right? But it really has like nothing to do with it. It's basically like you fight the mummy, that's like the main antagonist, but you're playing as like a sort of SWAT squad, like sent in to like, deal with it. Though the only weird thing is it's got the character of Russell Crowe from the film as like your sort of operator. So you're playing this lovely pixel art game which looks absolutely stunning, and then occasionally you just get a random pixelated picture of Russell Crowe pop up, and it's a little bit jarring, but it works. It does look like him. So fair play. So yeah, I thought, you know what, I love this game, and I've never seen the film, and I want to see Mission Impossible. So the stars of sort of a line is like, right, I'm going to watch The Mummy because I ain't seen it yet. Let's get it over with. Is it that bad? It is that bad.
This film was meant to start a new cinematic universe. It started and killed it in one fell swoop.
Yep, it's awful. So the biggest crime it does, and it does it a lot, is the whole show don't tell. It does so much fucking explaining, and it's so like blatant and shoehorned in. The intro to Tom Cruise's character is literally a drill sergeant talking about him and his friends, like pretty much directly to the camera, saying, "Oh, you're a treasure hunter who does this and this, and you got called for this." It's like, you just bringing up his entire fucking backstory to him. You know this person. Why are you talking like this? It's like bringing up his rap sheet. Yeah, that was what the fuck. It'd be like if I don't know, if Sean Connery just started talking about Indiana Jones, it's like at the beginning of the first film, and saying, "Oh, he's my son and he's a treasure hunter." Like, what the fuck? It's dumb. And for a film about mummy, it's really fucking boring. There's a lot of dialogue and not much fucking happening. There's a couple of set pieces, like there's a plane crash near the beginning, which honestly was way earlier in the film than I thought it would be. I thought it would be like more to the climax, because it was in like all the trailers, the stunt where he's in an airplane, but that's much, much earlier on. So how I remember the film is boring intro, weird fucking introduction to the characters, plane crash, nothing happens for about 90 minutes. Really, really shit final battle. Well, I say battle. Standing around talking a bit more, really.
The heated debate.
Yeah, kind of. Oh, and a sort of happy-ish ending just to like tie things together. He's like, "Oh, Tom Cruise is cursed. Oh well."
Oh well, the end.
Thanks, well. Shall we resolve that? Nah. Let's just say some bullshit about he's searching for a cure and everyone's happy. He's like, what a load of crap. They even do a thing where like his friend dies and even he gets fucking brought back. And they do a thing where Tom Cruise can like see him like as a sort of undead. And I thought, are you also ripping off American Werewolf in London? Because that happens.
Which bit? How? Which bit? How? How's it ripping off?
So, there's a one of the subplots of American Werewolf in London is the main character's like best friend gets killed by a werewolf.
Oh yes, I remember.
And he keeps like seeing him like as a corpse. Like,
yeah.
And they do the same in the Mummy.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I thought, but that character's played by Frank Grillo, as you may know, as like Crossbones from the MCU. So I thought, so my eyebrows raised a little. I was like, I didn't know he was in this. Maybe it'll be better. Nope,
it wasn't.
He's like, I'm meant to be the comedy sidekick. Except I don't have any comedy. I forgot to bring it. We also forgot to bring all the action scenes, but we brought a fuck ton of dialogue that's really piss poor written. It's like a sort of first draft.
Basically, don't watch this film.
Read it.
and don't even think about it. Think about watching it.
I don't think it'd be that bad. I'll say this.
Oh, I knew it was that bad without even.
I'll give it 1 point. I think the girl who's playing the titular mummy looks the part.
Yes,
that's it.
I think when I saw the trailer, she just reminded me of Suicide Squad. It just looked like it was influenced by Suicide Squad, the first one with Kara. I can't remember what the actual actress is. It's like Kara something. You know who I mean?
I don't know the name, but I know. Yeah, the villain.
Where she's like a human and then she's like possessed. I can't remember what her villain name is. Is it Enchantress? I don't fucking know.
Yeah, Enchantress.
Yeah.
Even I had to think.
Yeah, it just reminded me of her.
Yeah. I suppose if I take one thing away from the Mummy is it just makes me appreciate the original ones more. Well, I would say the originals, the 1999 ones much more.
Yeah. The Brendan
Fraser ones. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I was going to say something, and I was like, nah.
But it was still a bit of an alarm bell when Tomb of the Dragon Emperor was a bit of an alarm bell.
You know, I still haven't seen that one because I heard shit things when it came out, so I just never got around to seeing it.
I saw
Let's
it in
just
the
say
cinema.
that they thought, oh, we've got a CGI budget, let's start using it.
Oh, they did
so
that.
that's why they started to go
well.
OTT with some of the special effects, and it was just like this is sort of taken away, the idea of the Mummy.
Yeah, well, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson doesn't look the best at times in the second movie film.
Yeah, they couldn't afford Dwayne, so they CGI'd it.
Yeah,
it's like what AI actors are doing right now.
There's a few moments in that film where his character looks like doo-doo butter.
Yes.
Yep, I saw the second one in the cinema, and I remember it. I remember even back then going, "That looks shit."
I can't believe they did that though. That was so stupid.
Brendan Fraser's back, and this time he's battling a PS2.
Are you sure it's not a PS1?
No, it's not jaggy enough. At least that would have a bit more.
There wasn't enough polygons. There was more polygons.
Yeah.
Actually, on the topic of the Mummy, and obviously I said I'm a fan of the Scorpion King films because like the first one, I did enjoy the first one a lot, but then like the second, third, and fourth ones were getting a bit ridiculous again. They were like, "Oh, we've got CGI money, let's start using it." I'm like, "No, please don't. If you've got the money, invest it in something better." But have you heard of the PlayStation 2 game of the Scorpion King?
Oh, so I know it exists. I've obviously never played it.
So the way it plays is, I'd say it's like it's kind of frustrating but really cool at the same time. So there's like different tiers of weapons. Like you've got like white tier, which is like your absolute basic, all the way up to like red tier, which is like your absolute like god tier weapons. But the thing is, as you get later on in the game and you start fighting like the army of Anubis, it does start to get quite difficult. But what takes the piss is if you die, you lose all your weapons, but you still go back to the checkpoint. So you could get late game with all like the red tier items, die, and you've not gotten them anymore, so you're back to like your normal tier weapons and you can't kill shit. I remember having a good time in that game until then, and then I gave up. Yeah, that was surprisingly fun, actually. Was surprisingly fun. It was like Prince of Persia in a way. Like, you can explore Egypt, and obviously just nice combat. Yeah.
I
Overall, the
was-
mummy should go back into the tomb and bury herself.
Yeah, I always remember
basically-
the Scorpion King and the second Prince of Persia game on the PS2 a lot because they both had the soundtrack. The song was "I Stand Alone" by Godsmack in both of them.
Really?
Yeah.
I can't remember. It's literally I played it literally
God.
during mid PS2 era, so I can't remember much about the games.
Yeah, it's about the same time I was really into Godsmack as well. You don't know what you know. I've got a Godsmack tattoo because they were the first band I'd ever really seen live. I've got a tattoo of it. So when it came out, it was I know this band. This is a band I like, and no one else is allowed to like. So I didn't know anyone else that knew them, to be honest. I know they got a lot bigger over the years, and now they seem to have fizzled out. It's they're there, but they're not doing anything special. They're still touring, but yeah, they're just there.
Well,
What else we got?
well, guys, as you know, I'm still loosely playing a bit of Tears of the Kingdom, Octopath Traveler 1 and 2. And after Tears, I was like, I was still craving some more Zelda. So I was speaking to one of Brandon and mine's mates, and he went to me, Dan, you should play The Legend of Zelda, The Minish Cap. So I have, and I've beaten it. I've actually beaten it already. In the space of our last recording to this one, I have beaten it.
Yeah, it's not that long. Well, unless you're going for 100%, then it's.
I near enough went for 100%.
Don't bother, it's not worth it.
Yeah, to get 100%, you basically just get an extra heart piece, so that you can get 20. I had 19 hearts by the end of the game. I was missing one heart piece, and then I was missing 3 heart pieces, but 2 were just ridiculous. And one I've missed, and I don't know where, but I can't be asked to find it. But yeah, I've played and beaten the Minish Cap. I really like this game. I think it's one of the best top-down Zelda games. Either of you played it?
Never even heard of it.
Yeah, I finished it a few times back in the day.
It's the Zelda game on the Game Boy Advance.
Oh, okay.
It was made by Capcom, and its gimmick is you turn small. You can become small Link, and then you can enlarge and go into small spaces and stuff like that. That's its gimmick.
Yes, it also featured a gimmick where you could copy yourself 4 times a couple of the boss fights, and that went on to become 4 Swords Adventures.
Yes, I didn't realize. I knew the sword. I think before I played it, I thought that the sword was the Master Sword, and then as I was playing it, I was I must have got information completely incorrect, or I don't know, because it's basically the origins of the 4 swords.
Mm-hmm. And his hat.
Indeed, yeah. 'Cause it's got the same art style as Wind Waker. So you're that Link. You're the one. You basically,
okay.
Yeah. It's like I said, it took me just under 20 hours to beat, near enough doing 100%. I think I was about 95%. There's a few things I've not done, but I can't be asked. I did play the European version over the US, and I think by around my 18th hour, I was maybe I should have played the US version, because apparently it's better as there's less bugs. But then I didn't encounter any bugs in the European version, so I guess it doesn't matter. And a few things have changed, because there's a few puzzles that are completely different in the 2 versions. There's one puzzle that I got stuck on for ages, where in the US version there's a fucking sign there going, bomb this, where I was where the fuck do I go? And I just had to bomb a wall. But there was no sign, because it's the European version, to tell me I
So they had to make it more.
It was there. After I was oh yeah, I can see it now. But yeah, in the US version, there's a sign saying, bomb the wall. So, but no, I've really enjoyed this game, and it definitely is one of my favorite Zelda games. Of if I had to put it in a tier list, I would definitely put it in my A tier. It's solid. It's a very solid game. Really enjoyed the music. Really enjoyed the gameplay. To me, it did feel like the spiritual successor to Link's Awakening more than anything. And I guess it also made me not like Link's Awakening as much. Because I think it made me just realise how convoluted certain things in Link's Awakening are. For example, I think I did talk about... Did I talk about this? I think I did talk about this Link's Awakening dungeon before on the podcast, but oh well. The Eagle Tower from Link's Awakening is quite a weird and convoluted dungeon because it has features 3 steel balls that you got to put down like holes in the dungeon, and it can be really confusing. And I think that those aspects of like Link's Awakening, of things that like the gimmicks of like the dungeons and Link's Awakening kind of bring it down on when I think back. Whereas like the Minish Cap, near enough, most of the dungeons have a bit of a gimmick as well, but they feel a lot more manageable and more enjoyable. For like the 4th dungeon, the gimmick is you open the boss door from the get-go, and you literally see the boss near enough from the beginning, but then you've got to unfreeze the boss. So then that's like the rest of the kind of dungeon is just unfreezing the boss because it has the item you're trying to get. Like I said, I really enjoyed the Minish Cap. Taking me all these years to finally play it, but I guess you know what, it was worth the wait. And it's one of those, because I know you're a big fan of like Link to the Past, Chris. It's like this is like top-down Zelda. In like a good solid top-down Zelda. Yeah, A Link to the Past will always be, in my opinion, the best top-down Zelda, but stuff like Minish Cap is a great solid one as well. I still think probably A Link Between Worlds is probably my second favourite top-down Zelda. I think it just captures why A Link to the Past is so great and just puts a new kind of spin on everything. And it's very influential on Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom as well. But yeah, I think I'm going to try and play a few more top-down Zelda games because I've not played as many. And I also realised I've only replayed 3 Zelda games. Well, I bet you can guess. Both of you know probably 2 of them, but I bet you can't guess the 3rd one.
Well, as in replayed, as in you played it once and then just gone back and played it again.
Yeah, there's only 3 Zelda games I've replayed. Obviously, Ocarina of Time.
I would have said Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, and Wind Waker.
Skyward Sword.
No. Ocarina of Time, Wind Waker. I bet you will never guess the other one. You'll
Minish
never.
Cap?
Zelda's Adventure.
Phantom Hourglass.
Oh, that's a hot topic.
I thought the other day, I was like, wait, I've only replayed 3 Zelda games, and one of them is Phantom Hourglass.
So I'm surprised that you've never replayed Majora's Mask.
I got halfway, and then I've not played it since. Because when we bought the 3DS one, I got halfway. I've not played it since. And then I think I got halfway through Twilight Princess, and then I got to the second annoying fishing bit, and didn't play it. And then I've got halfway through Skyward Sword and then stopped playing it. And then I got the HD version and actually beat it. So I'm terrible at getting halfway through a game and then just dropping it.
I've got to get a couple of things off my chest there.
Oh no.
Yeah. I actually rate Minish Cap quite low. There's a lot of things I don't like about it at all. First off, it takes fucking ages to get going. The intro is way too long. Secondly, the kinstone system it has is mandatory sometimes, but the game doesn't really tell you that. And it's a right ball ache to do.
I'm not saying it's perfect.
Forward progression is a real pain because sometimes it's just really not clear where you need to go at all. You can scour the map and go over it several times, and you still get fucking lost. And the way forward is not obvious. And fourth, it's got the single worst heart piece in the entire franchise to get.
Yeah.
So if you don't know, the game has a sort of gacha, sort of collectible things where you have to gamble share. Yeah, no. Why do you like this shit? Gacha sucks.
No, Brandon. It's bad.
Yeah, it's real bad. So you have to use seashells as a currency, and you can put up to 20 of them into a machine to give you a percentage chance of getting a statue. Of which I believe there's I think there's 120 of them. So even if you put in the max, you're not guaranteed to get what you need.
I'd be hooked.
Yeah. Also, your shells max out at 900 or something. weird. And
Triple nines.
yeah, it's triple nines. Yeah, and it's even if you put all of them in, they're just not enough. So you were sort of incentivized to keep going back, to keep putting them in, to try and get one. Otherwise, you'll be picking up shells out of chests, and you do it quite often. In fact, they're one of the main rewards is bloody seashells. So you can like, open a chest. It's like, you got seashells. It's like you've already full, so you just completely wasted your time. And these are just going straight in the bin. You don't put them back or anything. It's like, no, they're just wasted. So fuck you. Yeah, and you also have to get every single one in order to open a room to get a single heart piece.
Yep.
Fuck that. People have made videos about how fucking stupid and percentage-wise.
Oh, yeah.
And doing this. So fuck that. And also, I was always really bummed out. Like some of the bosses are just regular size enemies, but you're small. It's like. Yeah.
I quite like that because it's the gimmick of the fact that you turn small. Where it's like, it's just a choo-choo, but it's massive.
I think it's fine for the first boss as a sort of introduction to like the bosses, but they do it several times. It's like it just feels like there's no actual boss of this dungeon. There's like no big guardian or anything. It's like no, just due to a really unfortunate circumstance, you just happened to walk by when this was happening.
Like the third dungeon has like the standard fucking Nintendo boss, a head and hands.
Yes, Master Hand.
Yeah, I think it's quite fun in Minish Cap because you gotta, once you kill a hand, you then gotta go into the head and then kill it from inside the head while you're small, and I quite like that. But it is the standard of, here we go, it's a head and hands. I've not seen Nintendo do this before. Oh wait, they've done it in Star Fox. They've done it in they've done it in Star Fox too many times. They've done it in Zelda a few times. They've done it in have they done it in Mario? Surely they've done it in Mario.
Yeah, you do it in Mario 64, sure. Yeah, it's a bit of a trope.
Yeah,
but yeah, for all those reasons combined, in fact, like last year when I replayed Minish Cap, I thought, it'll be fun. I did like 2 streams of it. I just stopped. I was like, I'm not having fun. I was like, it's not. I'm not enjoying it. Stopped. It might be fine, as you say, because you've only played it like for the first time, so everything's new and shiny. But it's like as soon as you play it again, all the scales just fall from your eyes and realize this game's really fucking badly designed.
I quite like the dungeons. I think they were like compared to some of the Link's Awakening dungeons, I found them really quite fun. I found some of the puzzles to be quite entertaining. But I know what you mean with like going through the quest. There's a lot of busy work in between the dungeons where it's just like, couldn't it be a bit more streamlined? The problem is you only got 5? Well, you only got 6 dungeons including the final one, so it's not the loads they put, and the map's not massive.
No, but what I kind of make up for it by making like every dungeon a pain in the ass to get to. So the overworld's more of a dungeon than the dungeon is.
At times, yeah. Well, like I said, I still think there's like, Link to the Past and A Link Between Worlds are still better top-down Zelda games, but you know.
Yeah, I'll take Link's Awakening any day.
I think Link's Awakening just still has some of those dungeons that are just quite convoluted, especially as it goes along. But,
yes, I do need to replay Oracles and Seasons like the other Capcom made ones.
I've yet to play them.
They're both good from what I remember.
I was going to play Seasons probably next, but then I also remembered I've not even finished Spirit Tracks. I opened it up and I was like, oh yeah, I'm obviously nearly either halfway or 3/4 of the way through this game. I might just restart it just so it's a bit more fresh. But I don't know. We'll see. But anyway, you did finish watching Ted Lasso.
I did, yes. So Ted Lasso, as I said on the last podcast episode, I started watching and I thought, it's only like 36 episodes. It shouldn't be too long to get through. Here's the thing. The first series, I like half-hour episodes. By the end of the third series, the episodes are like an hour and a quarter. It's like, fucking hell. And it's something even the creators sort of laments. It's like, yeah, we sort of padded them out. They even added episodes to season 2, and I think it shows because there seems to be a lot of filler. I did overall enjoy the series, but I think they padded it out way too much. There's a lot of side stuff that I just didn't care about, and it felt more like a soap opera than anything. Plot points are introduced and then dropped a couple of episodes episodes later with like no lasting repercussions. It's like, well, that was just a waste of time then, wasn't it? But the core story of like Ted Lasso and actually managing the team, I was all on board for, which for someone who doesn't give a crap about sports, it's like, no, it's fine. When he's on screen, he's like, yes, stick with him. He's the main character. Stay with him. It's cool. It's called Ted Lasso. Stay with him. He's fun to watch. He is overly optimistic. Maybe a bit saccharine. Like some of the series like feels like, oh, it's everything wraps up in a nice package, like a bit too well. If you ask me. Yeah, the overall, it sounds like I'm pissing all over. That's not fair. Because a lot of people like this series, and I did like it, but I'm never going to watch it again. It feels like even though the episodes were extended, they somehow felt padded out and rushed. It's like they added, like, overcorrected themselves. They made the episodes longer to appease the network or whoever they needed to appeal to. So they added a load of extra plot lines, and then sort of realized, oh yeah, we've still got the main plot. And then they lived happily ever after the end. So yeah, it just felt incredibly rushed. But that's how I felt. There were a couple of plot lines I did like. Obviously, the main one. There's one with one Nigerian footballers trying to be bought by a very rich Nigerian billionaire who's a complete childish prick. And I've spent like the entire time in that scenario wanting this footballer to just go on, just fucking punch him. He's a prick. Go on. Yeah, I like that bit. But there's a lot of sort of romance subplots that don't do anything for me and don't just go anywhere, which is, like, say, a bit soap opera-ish. Yeah, I don't know. It kind of ran towards the goalpost and sort of stumbled about halfway up the pitch. I suppose if I was to put a metaphor on it. But it's not a terrible series at all. I do recommend it. Just know that the episodes start half hour and then just get progressively longer as the series goes on. But much to its detriment. I think if they stuck to the half hour format, it would have been fine. It would have been a lot tighter and a lot more focused, and that would have been better.
It's like many things. You think in hindsight, you think if this show did this and this, it'd be cleaner, better. There we go. It'd be perfect. But sadly, things don't always work out that way.
Yeah, but I think the most egregious example is one of the main female casts. Start in like the third series, starts up a new relationship. They're concerned about one thing, but then several episodes later, they break up over something that's completely unrelated. And overall, that whole storyline with them having the relationship means absolutely nothing, because then it's like just carrying on as normal, like nothing ever happened. Like, what the fuck was the point of that? It's a complete waste of time.
Just like half of Last Jedi. Oh.
I'd say probably more egregious somehow. I think because it's trying to appeal to a lot of, like, it's trying to appeal to like people who's into sports, people who like the drama, and that it's trying to put too much in, trying to appeal to everyone. And I know it works for a lot of people. Like, I think surprisingly, some of the older people I've talked to prefer it. Don't know why. They just seem to like it. Maybe. Probably because it's, I don't know, nicer, I guess. It's got swear words in it, but it's not like overly violent. It's not like Game of Thrones or anything like that. It's like a bigger budgeted series that's like more grounded. Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I really wanted to like it more than I did. And to be honest, I did like it more than I thought I would to start with. But I was going off the boil towards the end, which, if I'm to read the reviews correctly, is kind of how people felt.
Yeah.
Anyway, but very quickly, before we move on to our main topic, I've watched two more things, and these are short, so I'll get them over with now. No episode of first series of season 11 of Futurama dropped. It's fucking funny. In fact, it's one of the better episodes I've seen of the entire series. I really enjoyed it. So I hope the rest of it lives up to par. Yeah, that's all I've got to say. It was good. And then I've also watched the one-off, I think it's going to be a one-off anyway, the prequel to Invincible, Atom Eve.
If I'd known this was out, I would have watched it. Till literally half an hour until we started recording, you mentioned it. I was like, wait, when did this fucking come out? It came out last week, and if I'd known, I would have watched it already. But oh well.
I didn't see it last week. I only seen it today. So I thought it came out like yesterday.
No, it came out the other day. Anyway.
Yeah. So it's kind of like I'd say it's like a standalone episode, but there's a lot happens, so it's kind of more like a mini movie, but like in 50 minutes.
An hour long.
Yeah. Well, after like all the credits and that, it's actually about 50 minutes.
Yeah. Well, you know.
Yeah. So it feels like it's got a 3-act structure in space of 50 minutes. But that's not to its detriment. It's got a beginning, middle, and end. It's fairly fast paced. There's no fat. It's like you've got the premise. you've got the sort of origin story, but it's not really, they don't dwindle on it. It's just like, oh, this is happening, now this is happening. And then you have climax, villain, boom. And then meanwhile, what was happening while it's like a minute segment? It's like, what was happening with the main cast while this is going down? And that's pretty much your lot. But if I say anything, because it's only 50 minutes, it'll be a spoiler. So yeah, it's good. It's 50 minutes. It's more Invincible. Invincible was great. So I'm happy to see that. I didn't realize it was an Invincible thing at first, though. I just seen like the Atom Eve, and I thought, oh, what's that? Just another like. Because I ain't seen Invincible for I think it's like 2 years now since it came out.
Came out during lockdown.
Yeah, so I was like, Atom Eve. I was like, do I know Atom Eve? I was like, oh yeah, she's a character in Invincible. It says Invincible on it. And I didn't realise at first. I thought, oh, it's just another superhero animated thing. So I completely bypassed it. It's only when I reread it, it was like, hold on, that says Invincible. Oh yeah, I vaguely remember. The character that wasn't Omni-Man. I remember, yeah. It's decent. Yeah, a couple of quick fire things worth keeping an eye out for, folks. If you've not seen them, both I recommend them both. And is there anything else before we move on to our main topic?
No, I think what we said. Did we say it earlier? I can't remember. Like, there's a few things that I'm watching but not finished, and there's a few other stuff like The Witcher. Second half of The Witcher comes out in a couple of days, so I'm sure you can expect some of that next episode. I'm up to date with season 3 of The Witcher, but I guess my opinions are still the same from even after the first episode. But yeah. I guess we'll go into our main topic, won't we, boys?
Yes.
So lay it down, Chris.
So, as you know, we talk about movies on here. I know, shocking, right?
Really?
Yeah, I know.
I don't.
But what's the main ingredient of a movie if you take away the synopsis and
music,
everything else? Yes, and not that.
The credits?
What else? And not that. Well, I suppose credits are part of it.
They are for certain characters, aren't they?
They certainly are. I fluffed this a bit.
Basically,
I fluffed that line too. I won't make a very good actor.
So you might make a good voiceover artist.
Yeah. So basically, what are our favourite voice actors and actual actors in just films, video games?
Yeah, I was thinking just films is what I'm focusing on.
Just films.
Just my favourite actors.
And
then there's a voice actor, isn't it?
Just
actors.
Right,
I've got my actors and voice actors lined up.
Yes, before Brandon says anything, I'm already guessing that most of Brandon's stuff is going to be very, very weeby, or there's going to be lots of Japanese names that I just don't know.
Well, jokes on you.
I may be wrong.
Half of them is Japanese, and the other half is not.
I've barely got a list. I'm just doing it off by my head.
Yep, same. All right, so this is actually a little hard to narrow down because I like a lot of actors because I've watched a lot of films and watched lots of series. But I actually like laser focusing, like who are my actual favorite actors? It's very hard, very, very hard. It's like, God damn, it's like, and then I tried to wrap my head around what films would I go out my way to see if this person was in it. So without any further ado, Dan, can you tell us who your favorite actor is?
I like a lot, like you. I think one of my favourites is Brad Pitt. I know already, because I did mention it before we recorded it. Neither of you are that interested in Brad Pitt as an actor, but I think a lot of his films are really good, and just him as an actor he's very talented. I don't know if you must. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you've seen it, Chris. Oh, I'm gonna fucking forget his fucking name already. Oh shit! Is it the Guy Ritchie film that he's in? Snatch. Like, the way his role in Snatch is fucking brilliant. It's one of my favourite roles he's had. Or even just something like Fight Club. It's absolutely brilliant.
Yes, Fight Club for me has been somewhat tainted by the fact that it's used as a lot of example by so-called quote-unquote alpha males as a sort of thing to aspire to, which always makes me think, have they seen the film? Because that's really not what you want to be aspiring to. It's like,
no, really.
I'm Tyler Durden. Me, it's like, what you mean? You're a figment of your imagination and you're mentally ill. Yeah, it sounds about right.
Yeah, I don't see Fight Club like that, but yeah, his role in Fight Club is just fucking brilliant. Like, even just like Ocean's 11, even that is quite fun. Already forgotten like a whole fucking load of films, but I
Mr.
think
and Mrs. Smith, who was in that was great.
I haven't seen it, so I think I watched my dad. I think my dad had it on, and so I watched a bit, and I was like, whatever. But I think in my mind, I'm like, I know the real reason he watched it. So
Of course, his most famous role being that of forget the character's name. In Deadpool 2. He was in Deadpool 2. That was his Julie's.
oh yeah, he was.
His 15 minutes of fame, wasn't it?
I forgot he was in that. But yeah, no, I generally I think I need to watch even some more films. Like Ad Astra's been on my watch list to watch at some point.
Yeah, I've not seen that. I need to see Bullet Train as well.
But I generally, when Brad Pitt's in a film, I generally know, even if the film is crap, I generally know that I'm gonna enjoy his performance because he's a fantastic actor.
I'll pick one of mine. So I'm gonna go. Oh, would I change my mind last second? No, I'll go with my gut. One of my favorite actors ever, and you'll know him from such films as The Avengers, Pulp Fiction, 51st State, and a little show called Secret Invasion. It's fucking motherfucking Samuel L. Jackson.
Hell yeah!
If
I
he's
was going to put him on my list, to be honest.
Yeah, if he's in a film, I'm watching the shit out of it because no matter how bad it is, he's gonna do a damn good performance and possibly say the word motherfucker, and it will be worth it.
I was literally about to say, like, as long as he comes out and says "surprise, motherfucker."
Well, apart from the snakes on the apart from the snakes on the plane edit for TV, have you heard that?
No, what does he say?
All right, so instead of the iconic plane, I've had it with these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane. The dub for it makes no fucking sense because, and this is brilliant, and I'm just being delivered a cup of tea. So, oh no, all right. Interruption's over. It says the line, I have had it with these monkey fighting snakes on this Monday to Friday plane. Which means fucking nothing. What monkeys? Monday to Friday? What the hell are they talking about?
Oh, I feel so bad for the deaf community if they had to witness that.
If you see it alongside with the actual film, it doesn't even match up. It's ridiculous. But honestly, it just makes me like the film more. The film's a bit crap, to be honest. But Samuel Jackson, it was more about the name, wasn't it? It's like Sharknado. It's like snakes on a plane.
It's like I still remember the bit in that film where it's like when that guy's like flying the plane at the end. It's like, "Where's your experience?" He's like, "I play video games." It's like, what?
Yeah, it's one of those films. They come up with the title first, and then thought, "Oh fuck, I've come up with a film now." Yeah, Samuel L. Jackson. Come on, Royale with cheese.
Well, I can name also another actor which, if I know they're in a film, it would probably convince me a bit more than usual to maybe watch it. Again, it's just as much as a cop-out as Samuel L. Jackson, but I'm going to have to say Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Oh, hell no.
Yeah,
Really?
No, right at the bottom.
No.
I don't know what it is about films that he is in. It just draws me in. I just like his demeanor. I like what he portrays. The fact he was in Moana as well. Like, he was in Moana, like, we're doing a double of that. I liked him in Jungle Cruise. Really enjoyed that. Yeah, I mean, if I know he's in a film, I'll just watch it just because he's in it. Basically,
I would actively avoid it.
Just do it.
I think what soured me, and it's probably the same with Chris, is that all of his roles these days are the fucking same.
Yeah,
I still remember
Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson playing as Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
Have you not? Excuse me. Not seen that meme where it's like a picture of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, and he looks like he's wearing the same thing in all four pictures, and it goes, "This is 4 different films."
Yeah, where he's like wearing a white shirt.
I think I got both. 2 of them are Jumanjis in that meme. One's Journey to the Center of the Earth 2, or I think one of them's
one's Welcome to the Jungle.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
I don't know. It could be another fucking. It could be like 4 other films.
But surely that's more of a role of the producer, just basically making him wear the same stuff because that's just what he's doing. It's not really his fault as an actor. It's just what he's been given to wear.
Yeah, but the thing is, he's cast like that because I think, we'll just get in because we know exactly like what we want. We just want the Rock. Want the Rock.
And he fits that role very well because obviously he's playing as himself. Just like Sean Bean in movies plays as himself.
Yeah, but Sean Bean's done a lot more heavy stuff.
I was saying Sean Bean's a very good actor.
Yeah.
I mean, Sean Bean was going to be in my list, but I was just like, I mean, I like him in Silent Hill, I like him in Lord of the Rings, I like him in Game of Thrones, and I like him in GoldenEye, which I thought was a sudden surprise. I didn't know he was in GoldenEye. But apart from that, don't really know anything.
Have you ever watched? Either of you watched the TV show? I think it's called Legends
Nope.
with Sean Bean. That was quite an interesting one. And the main reason I watched it was I heard he wouldn't die at the end. It would be a role where he wouldn't die. Spoiler alert: he doesn't die. He actually doesn't die, and so that was one of the reasons why I watched it. The first season was quite fun actually. It was where he would go into like different personas, which were called legends. But then the second season wasn't as good, but it weren't too bad. I wouldn't say it's not worth your watch.
I'll tell you what, oddly enough, he doesn't die in Silent Hill.
I was literally about to say that he doesn't die in Silent Hill.
He doesn't die in National Treasure.
But Silent Hill is like, that's based around a lot of people dying, yet he doesn't. Weird.
Wasn't he in a TV show where it, like feature racing or something the other year? I don't know if he dies in that, but
I don't know. I know everyone's going to be screaming, Sharp's rifles. He was in that. I guess he wasn't.
Literally, one of my mates, his D&D, in my D&D game, one of my mates, his D&D character is based off Sharp.
Oh, to watch them. I know people really like them. Yeah, all right then. I suppose we're swinging back to Ian and Dan. Pick number 2.
You pick something first. I'm still cooking.
I'll say I've got another cop out.
Go on.
Johnny Depp.
All right, I'll let you have that one.
The reason being is because I like him in a lot of the Tim Burton films he's been a part of. I mean, it's likewise with The Rock. It's almost like he's playing himself as, this sort of outrageously outward-thinking, is he drunk, is he real character, i.e. Jack Sparrow, Edward Scissorhands. Like just every character that Johnny Depp seems to play just seems like this. He's not talking to you. He's not thinking about you. He's thinking about something else while talking to someone else. Even like in Crimes of Grindelwald when he was playing as Grindelwald. I don't know. I fancy that man. Is that bad of me?
No, you're allowed to say that.
If I was a woman, I would.
I'll tell you one really good Johnny Depp performance, but nobody really talks about it because it bombed and gets bad reviews, and I don't understand why. Because I think it's really good. My niece has watched it and she thinks it's really good. So do my folks as well. You ever watch Secret Window?
No, I never heard of it.
So the premise of Secret Window is he's kind of like a shut-in writer, and he has someone come to his door claiming to be him, and he's ripped off his work, which I think is played by Matthew McConaughey, if I remember rightly. And he's going through a divorce with his wife. It's kind of a thriller. It's probably got a kind of semi-predictable ending, but he acts really well in it, and I do recommend it if you've not seen it. It's only 90 minutes, so it's not going to take all day. Yeah, it's really good now. Is it my turn? Are you still thinking?
I think Dan's still cooking.
I'm still cooking. All right, then. I'll go with pick number 2, then. I have to say this, because if I don't, my Twitch chat will go absolutely wappy. Danny DeVito. Come on. Come on. He played Phil in Hercules. What more do you want?
He's the Penguin.
He is the Penguin. Yeah, he was one of my favourite roles is in, as if you've ever seen it, Throw Mama from the Train. That film's great. With Billy Crystal. Plays off him really well. And of course, probably his most famous more now, playing Frank Reynolds in Always Sunny.
Yeah.
He fucking makes that series. Well, that series is great anyway, but he just elevates it to another level. Fantastic. But if I don't say him because of some of the memes on my channel, chat will go fucking wappy. It's you didn't say Danny DeVito. I was sorry. But he is. He's a delight. It's you see him and he's in a film like Twins, he's he doesn't have to say much and he's just going to crack you up. He's got that look about him. He's a very interesting character, and he always comes across as really nice, which is one of the things I take away from a lot of actors. It's yeah, you can act in something, but how do you actually come across? Do you feel like you want some kind of guy that I actually want to hang around with, go down the pub with? It's yeah, I'll have a drink with Danny DeVito. Yeah, seems like it'll be alright. I'll have to hang around. So yeah, Danny DeVito, top bloke.
Are you still cooking, Dan, or do you want me to start reading off?
You say someone else. I've got a few ideas, but I'm I don't know.
You're hoping one of us is going to say one.
Okay, so before I move on to the Weeby stuff,
gosh,
I'm going to talk about, it's still going to be along the lines of animated. So I'm going to also talk about voice actor performances. And in terms of Western voice actors, I've not seen a lot. I'll openly admit I've not seen a lot. But I have to take my hats off to Seth MacFarlane as a voice actor.
Oh yeah, he's talented.
I just love the fact that obviously he's produced the likes of Family Guy and then also does the voice acting of Family Guy. And it's just, it's little seed he planted working on other shows, and all of a sudden he grew up. He grew his own with Family Guy. He just does a great job. I really do think he's done a great job.
Well, he has done a bit more live action, actual acting in recent years. Was it basically the Star Trek spoof thing he did?
Or the Orville?
The Orville, yes. That's meant to be quite good, apparently. But yes, that. And he also did a few films as well.
Yes, like Once Upon a Time in the West, which I keep trying to forget about.
Yeah, well, unless you've got a moustache.
Don't forget Ted.
Yeah, that was voice acting.
Yeah, that's why I didn't mention it.
And that was just Peter Griffin's voice.
I was literally about to say, like, you mainly know just Seth as just Peter Griffin. And anytime you hear that, it's just like, oh, it's Peter Griffin. It's like, no, it's Seth MacFarlane. Yeah, but same thing.
Yeah, I'm not I mean, okay, fair play. He's had a good career. I'm not sure how good a voice actor Seth MacFarlane is. He's like, I think he's only really got like the three voices, but he just reuses them.
No, he has quite a lot. But then, actually, the problem is you hear as you say, the three voices. But he's got an incredible range. But I think he just gets in his comfort zone of the main of what he knows.
Yeah, I'll do the Brian, the Stewie, or the Peter voice.
Yeah.
But also, if you look at what's her name? The voice actor of Bart and Nelson.
Oh, and yeah,
Nancy Carter.
Nancy Carter, that's it. She's amazing as well. Have you seen like the Facebook video of her like going through the different Simpsons characters? I thought that was pretty cool. Like the fact that there's also the person who does SpongeBob.
Tom Kenny.
Tom Kenny.
Tom
featured
Kenny.
in Tom Kenny compilations.
Yeah.
Yes, because I just thought it was really interesting the way he does the SpongeBob laugh is he basically turns his hand into like a karate chop and just sort of hits his throat, and that gives it that sound. I thought that was really cool. Like these techniques that some of the voice actors come up with to do just certain sounds.
It'd be funny hearing Sparrow do that, wouldn't it?
It is a bit weird.
That's something that shouldn't exist.
Yeah, it'd be funny. You just playing Sparrow 2 and 3, and then suddenly Tom Kenny's like, I'm just going to do SpongeBob halfway through this game. You're like, wait, what? No, Sparrow,
That would be a very strange Easter egg if it was to be one. But no, it became more SpongeBob, though, didn't it? Didn't it? When did SpongeBob come out?
I don't know.
SpongeBob SquarePants. 1999, fuck me.
I was going to say that, to be fair.
I thought it was like early 2000s.
No. Well, yes, but no.
Well, it's before early 2000s. It's like late 90s.
Yeah.
Very late 90s. It started. But yeah, that's like Western voice actors, Nancy Carter, Seth MacFarlane. I appreciate their work.
Okay. I feel a bit, I'll be honest, I didn't really want to mention anyone from the MCU. I've been really trying not to. But
I didn't want to, but I've got one.
So. I've got one.
He's Samuel L. Jackson.
I've got, well, yeah, but Samuel L. Jackson's a bit different. I've got one, but I'm going to be honest. Yes, their role in the MCU is incredible, but my favourite two roles for this actor aren't MCU. Funny enough, one's Oppenheimer. Yeah, and the other one is Natural Born Killers. This is Robert Downey Jr. In Natural Born Killers, I don't know if any of you have seen it.
No.
Yes, I have.
Yeah, he is a news reporter, and he by the end, he goes absolutely crazy, and it's just fascinating to watch him do that role. And then I watched it after like Iron Man and all that, and it's like, whoa, he is a man with a good range. Like, and then you have something like Oppenheimer, which he is quite a very interesting. He's playing a very interesting character, or a very interesting person as Strauss, who feels as intimidating, but as very calculating, and it's just such a fantastic role he has in Oppenheimer.
You're missing his best role.
Which one's that?
Kiss Kiss Bang Bang.
I've not seen that, so...
Not seen that with Val Kilmer. You can watch that. That film's fantastic. Seriously, watch that.
He looks so young in Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. What the fuck?
It's not that long before the MCU, I don't think.
Yeah, he was also in Chef. That was good as well.
Yeah, yes, he was.
Mm.
Yeah.
I will say one thing about Robert Downey Jr. though. When I was first trying to get into the MCU, like it was not until like COVID that I started seeing MCU films. Admittedly, I had a prejudice for Iron Man because all I knew Iron Man was just this red and yellow robot thingy that shoots lasers and floats. I didn't know the Tom Stark side of stuff, and Robert Downey Jr. did. I really enjoyed the way he played Stark. It made me really like Iron Man as a character. It really did.
Well, Iron Man it's not as much not really in the MCU on live action, but in the comics, especially in the original comics, he's very similar to me because he has a weak heart, which that's in the MCU, it's the device he has, but in original comics, he's a lot more like myself, which is why I kind of related to Iron Man, the comic version of Iron Man, a lot more than the live action.
Fair enough.
Yeah, because in the early comics, he would go and fight, and he'd be like, well, I might die trying to protect everyone because of my heart. That was always a weakness. He always something that he had to think about when going to fight.
Very nice, very nice.
It's completely away from actors and stuff, but
Relatable. He's relatable to you.
Yeah.
Are you still cooking, or have you guys got any more?
I've got a couple more.
I have a few more.
Yeah. All right. So my third pick, I've actually changed my mind last minute. I was gonna roll with either Kurt Russell, like The Thing, Bone Tomahawk, Guardians of the Galaxy 2, because I'll watch something of his in it. I decided no. And I thought I'm gonna go with Paul Rudd because of Ghostbusters, obviously Ant-Man. I Love You, Man. This is nice to watch. But I've decided last minute to change my mind to Michael Keaton, the 1989 Batman, the founder, Vulture from the MCU. I was like trying to think, who's not in the MCU? And I just went, Michael Keaton. I really like Michael Keaton. I'm like, fuck, he's the Vulture. Damn you. Fuck, everyone's in it.
That's the thing. Like near enough most actors are in a superhero film now.
Yeah, but honestly, he's such a good actor. If you've not seen The Founder, watch that. That film's great. And obviously the 89 Batman, I don't care what people say. That's my favourite Batman. I really like that one.
Right, Birdman?
Yeah. You know what? I didn't actually like that one. People went, crazy. Like, I was like, he's really good in it. And yeah, he's fine in it. I just didn't like the film. I wouldn't say it's a bit too weird for me. I just didn't vibe with it.
Don't forget Beetlejuice.
Yeah, of course, Beetlejuice. I'm still waiting for Beetlejuice too.
I think all of us are waiting for Beetlejuice too.
Yeah. I'll be honest, I think it's going to be shit. I think it's too little too late. It's been delayed so much. It's been teased. It's like, it's not going to be good, is it?
No.
Yeah, so yeah, Michael Keaton, he's been in so many good things. I was going to go with Jeff Goldblum as well, and Nicolas Cage. I mean, Nicolas Cage.
Sorry you didn't say Nicolas Cage. I think I expected you to say Nicolas Cage.
I think I didn't say Nicolas Cage. I think everyone expected me to say Nicolas Cage. But when I'm thinking about it, it's like, how many good films? I mean, actually good, not sort of so bad they're good. It's like, because he's kind of like his own meme, isn't he? He's kind of
he kind of is.
He's in on the joke, but that's kind of what I like. But I think I like Nick Cage more as a person, as an actor.
I still want to watch Renfield. That looks absolutely hilarious.
Yeah, it does. Let's go for the same reason. Like, I was going to say, what about Keanu Reeves? Keanu Reeves seems like a great bloke too.
Yeah, it is. Yeah,
he's not my favourite actor though. He can be quite wooden. Well, not so much now. He's a lot better than he was. So some of his earlier roles were a bit, with the exception of Bill and Ted. So yeah, I think I better put a pin on it there with actors because I could be here all day just listing more and more off. But very quickly, I've not said a single actress is an actress. So Scarlett Johansson. There you go.
See, I don't
Any
know what
roles in particular.
Under the Skin was quite good.
I was just wink.
Yeah, obviously Black Widow.
Great job with Black Widow.
Jojo Rabbit was good in that as well.
I'm sure.
Apparently, she's fantastic in Marriage Story.
Yes, Marriage Story with Adam Driver. Yeah, that was really good. Yeah, that's really good too. So yeah, and oddly enough, The Island. I don't think hardly anybody's seen that, but she's in that with Ewan McGregor, who I also nearly mentioned.
Oh fuck! I just remembered another actor that I was going to say.
And The Island's also got Sean Bean in it as well. So. Yeah. That film's really good. But again, that's a film that got panned. It was written by Michael Bay, and I didn't know that because I rewatched it recently. I was like, yeah, this film's still really good.
Well, if I'm going to say one more actor, it'd probably be Leonardo DiCaprio.
I was going to say Leonardo DiCaprio as well.
Well, I guess it's joint then. There you go. He's fantastic.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I liked him in Wolf of Wall Street, but I just like it when he plays cocky characters. I still wanted to watch The Revenant because that's when he got his Oscar thing, wasn't it?
Yes, I think I still think he should have got it for Wolf of Wall Street, but I can understand why he got it for The Revenant. I think it's probably a bit more, I don't know, not a bit more maybe commercially accepted. Maybe I don't know.
I didn't think The Revenant was that good, but I think by that point everyone was just going, just give him the fucking Oscar.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it was like that.
I'm surprised he wasn't even during the time period like for the Titanic as well.
Yeah,
By the way,
enough.
on the topic of actresses, by the way, Winona Ryder, just saying. You know, Beetlejuice,
Yeah.
Stranger Things.
Yeah, she's good.
I don't really have one. I like a lot, but I don't really.
I was going to say Emma Watson, but that's a cop-out.
No, not Emma Watson. No,
That's why I said it's a cop-out.
no,
Because I only really know her for Beauty and the Beast and Harry Potter. I know nothing else.
no. I wouldn't say Emma Watson. I don't know. I don't really have any. So I'm sorry.
Yeah, because I remember, like, people always used to say, oh, who's your celebrity crush? And I'd always do the same answer. I'm just like, don't fucking have one. And they're like, oh, but what about actresses? I don't know what it is. I just don't. I don't. Am I weird? Am I broken? Guys, am I broken?
No, you just said you preferred Johnny Depp. So there you go.
I do prefer Johnny Depp.
I think you've learned something about yourself tonight. Okay, you want another way? You want another actress? Rachel Weisz from The Mummy. There you go.
Right.
The Mummy. That's it. I don't need any other things. The Mummy. Give everyone that film an Oscar tonight.
Can I quickly represent my weeb friends before we end the podcast?
No.
Well, fuck it anyway, I'm doing it. So,
Matt Mercer. There we go. Best.
you got it in there.
There you go. I had to mention Matt Mercer somewhere. Great voice actor. There you go.
Right, Dan, you might be on the same wavelength as me here. Obviously, for certain films, you'd want to see a film because certain actors are in there or certain producers and directors are doing it, right?
Yeah.
When it comes for anime, would you choose to watch a film just because a certain voice actor is in there?
No.
No. I'm completely with you there. I know you did the thing where you wanted to watch every Studio Trigger anime, didn't you?
Yeah, but that was because it was that studio, not because. Of
Yeah.
anything.
So this is what I'm going to pose. One of my favorite voice actors, as you know, we've been watching Mushoku Tensei, which we're going to talk about at a later date.
Probably next episode, but yeah.
Probably next episode, is the voice actor of Rudy, who just so happens to be the same voice actor of Sakata Gintoki from Gintama, my favorite anime.
Oh yeah.
And that is Tomokazu Sugita. So I've been
What else has
literally...
he done?
Oh, fuck. I just literally had my anime list open.
For fuck's sake.
He's done... Oh, fuck it. I have to open. Bear with me. Cue the elevator music to say that we're currently on a break.
Because I would say one of my favourite ones is actually a voice actress, and it's I don't know her name, but she does Violet Evergarden.
Oh,
She's
okay.
correct because she does 2B in the Nier Automata anime, which is fucking back on. Yeah.
Sorry, I just got really excited. I just saw his list of roles. So he's also done a role in Assassination Classroom,
Not
which
watched
I've
that.
seen. He's played in Chobits as well, which I've
Not watched
seen.
that.
He's played Rin in Shuffle, which I've seen.
Not watched that.
He's played Gyome in Demon Slayer, which I've seen.
Who?
He's played Gyome Himejima.
Who's that?
Isn't that one of the Hashira?
Okay, moving on.
No, I'm literally just Gyome.
So basically,
It's a supporting character. It's not actually a main character.
so basically, not
No,
a character that's
it's
not
the blind
important.
Hashira. You know the stone Hashira.
So he's someone who's not important right now.
Oh, but he's important in the next arc though.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah. He's played Kyon in the Melancholy of Haruhi Suzumiya. But one of the most important things which he's done as well is Joseph Joestar in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Why don't you just start off with that?
Well, I had to cop
I've actually
tease you.
heard of that one.
I was
I had to
like,
cop tease you for that.
I think I was a bit on Chris's wavelength for a bit. I was just like, yeah, whatever.
He's my favourite voice actor. He's done a ton of shit you've never heard of.
But literally, I was just looking through this list. I was like, I've seen that. I was like, what the fuck? Also, he's played Yusuke Kitagawa from Persona 5
Oh, you know, that's funny because
and Chrom from Fire Emblem.
well, you know who plays Yusuke from Persona 5 in English? Matt Mercer.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Oh, small world. But yeah, I've literally, like I said, I've been debating, do I just randomly just choose a voice actor and watch all their work? I really like the guy who does the voice actor of Madara from Naruto, just because, he's done Japanese Disney voiceovers as well. Mm-hmm. So there was a really famous video of him being like Madara during that part when he fights all the 5 Kage. But it's literally the voice actor singing one of the Disney songs, and it's dubbed over Madara. It was fucking incredible, so funny. But yeah, Tomoka Tsukita is Oh, I love his role in Gintama. He's fucking incredible.
Well, I think
I have not mentioned it. Oh, I've got one more.
Right.
I've not mentioned any voice actors yet.
Oh, you go. Sorry.
Very quickly, I'm going to just do quick fire 5. Although first 2 are pretty much tied because you can't have one without the other. Trey Parker and Matt Stone, South Park.
Yep.
I mean, come on.
Great.
Team worker.
Voice actors.
If I pick one from The Simpsons, Dan Castellaneta for Homer Simpson, and of course his most iconic role ever, Earthworm Jim. 4, because if I don't say it, I'm pretty sure somebody's going to burn Victory Achieved Studios to the ground. Mark Hamill for the Joker.
Of course.
Oh, yeah.
The best Joker.
Yeah.
The best Joker.
Yeah, even better than the 1989 Batman with Michael Keaton, because Jack Nicholson is just playing Jack Nicholson.
That's true.
And the 5th one, for a bit of female representation, Tara Strong.
Tara Strong is fantastic.
Because fuck me, what hasn't she done? But I suppose if I'd pick one, Timmy Turner from Fairly Odd Parents, just to pick a random one out of the hat.
Yeah.
There we go. That's 5.
There you go. Well, that's a wrap.
That's a wrap.
That's funny, as soon as we talk about actors, that's a wrap.
Yeah.
Well chosen.
Cut.
Yeah.
Well, I thought Chris was going to say something there.
So did I.
I just said cut.
Oh, I didn't hear you say cut.
Well, we did cut.
That's the joke. Also, I can't believe nobody said Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah, but he just plays the roles as himself.
Yeah.
True.
Every time I see Arnie, it's either the Terminator or the Terminator.
I think that's why none of us said like Keanu Reeves, or it's just you know what you're getting.
It's the same as Sylvester Stallone. He just plays a boxer all the time.
Well,
yeah,
but yeah, they have the same role, and it's just like there we go. Like, they're not bad, but it's like you know what you're getting. It's like Jason Statham. You're not. None of us have said that. To be fair, I'm planning to see the Meg 2 when that comes out, just because I'll be in Wales and I'll be like, I'm fucking bored. I'm gonna go see the Meg 2.
And I like that. I've been to Wales twice. The only thing to do is get bored.
I've been there too many times. Been there this will be like my 5th time. Anyway, yeah. Well, you know where we are on the social medias: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Are we on Threads? I don't know. I think you're on Threads.
Only Threads.
Is Threads still a thing? I don't know.
It is very much still a thing, yes. But it's got absolutely nothing to do with a 1984 film with the same name.
Yes. As you know, we're on. Listen to wherever you get your podcasts. We're there. Give us a rating. We appreciate it. Tell your friends. Yeah, we love you.
I very much love you.
Yeah, you love Johnny Depp, mate.
Yeah.
I hope one day he loves me.
He'll love you more than Amber Heard. Just remember that.
I'll need to take him to court to marry me.
If you don't, you'll shit.
I'll take him like handcuffs and be like, Judge, make this man my wife and or husbando.
Well, you can catch up with that future law suit maybe in a future episode of Victory Achieved podcast. So thank you very much for listening, everyone. This is bye from me, Dan.
Yep.
Brandon.
And Brendan. Yeah, I forgot your name.
You mean Johnny Depp's future husband?
Oh, future divorce.
Brandon Depp.
I can imagine you. I can imagine you two falling out over the anime voice actors.
You're like, while you're both holding mega pints.
Yes.